Samara Riviera here with Jackson Riemerschmid. Tell us a little bit about what you did that brought you here to the GLAAD Awards in New York City.
Well, basically, a friend of mine, Jacob Weingast, he brought up the situation with the graduation robes at my high school. So traditionally, we had the purple gowns for the boys, the white gowns for the girls, and we were given these slips of paper that said checked off your height, your weight, and then male or female. And he looked at the slip of paper, he's like, wow, this is ridiculous. Like, there's plenty of people that don't identify as male or female, and even so, like, having white to symbolize purity and virginity for women is somewhat sexist. So he brought it up with my principal, Mr. Richardson, and he wrote actually a well-written letter saying, this is an archaic practice, like, why continue to do this? So from there, I was invited also by him. He brought it up to me, and we went to the school board together to present to them our proposition of changing it to one color to avoid this, excluding people. So it ended up going through, and that's basically what happened. And as of next year, we'll be having all purple robes for everyone, so to avoid any, types of exclusion.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you for doing that for the community. Are you an ally of the community? Or?
I'm actually a transgender male, so it's definitely dear to my heart, including people. At the time, even when we were talking about the robes, I knew I was going to get purple no matter what. But it was still, even then, a very stressful process for me to have to think oh shoot, what do I put? On my birth certificates it says female, but I obviously identify as male, and I wanted to wear a purple robe. So at that time, I'm just glad that there are other people out there, like my friend Jacob, who is an ally, to think for others, as opposed to just not really advocating.
Wow, and how has it been? How has the school experience been now in 2016 for someone who is transgender?
I say my school is definitely one of the better ones. It's definitely very liberal, New Rochelle High School. However, I've still faced quite a bit of adversity, not from the administration at all, but just from peers. Actually, a few weeks after it was put out that the robes were going to be changed, someone knocked the side mirror off of my car, and then a few days later bumped up bashed in my bumper on my car. So there's definitely still a little bit, it definitely can be better, but overall I'd say with the administration and a majority of my peers, it has been great. They are now adopting, gender neutral bathrooms and trying to get locker room situations, and even with sports, I played in the beginning of the year, I played on the girls' soccer team, and by the end, now I'm playing on the boys' tennis team. So it's definitely a very liberal place and very accepting.
Wow, that is so awesome and so good to hear. And thanks to someone like you at such a young age, being so courageous and becoming an advocate and just standing up for what you believe in, right?
Yeah, people ask me why I do this, it's so courageous, but at the same time I'm saying I'm not only advocating for others, but for myself. This is the future that I want to see. I want to see a day where gender isn't really a big issue, where it's not a defining factor, So it's really a change that I want to see for myself as well as for everyone else.
Awesome, thank you. Lastly, what can you say to transgender kids out there that might be afraid to come out and be themselves?
Well, definitely don't. You want to make sure you have a safe environment when you come out, because obviously, as we know, it is very dangerous for transgender people in the world, especially transgender women. So kind of building your own support system, looking for resources. I personally, I look to YouTube for, famous YouTubers that I know, like Ty Turner, and it really helps me get through the days that are tough.
Well, thank you so much. Any last words you want to say that you think might be important?
Just be yourself, really.
Be yourself, kids. Thank you so much.